Hello and welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. Like so many gatherings, food was at the center of the origin, an organic origin of Little Arabia in the city of Anaheim. With us now to talk about Little Arabia, some of the festivals that are coming up as well there, is Mayor Pro Tem of Anaheim, James Vanderbilt. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
You know, there is this Little Arabia community in the city of Anaheim. I'm not sure a lot of people really know about it. I think a lot of people think about Anaheim as the origin German immigrants coming, but there are a lot of Syrian immigrants who have arrived, and a community is booming around that too.
Yeah, absolutely. This has taken place over the last 20 or 25 years in the west portion of Anaheim, mostly along Brookhurst Street. And it is certainly a hidden gem. I mean, for people who have a chance to visit, which I would encourage them to do, they would be, I think, pleasantly surprised to see that this area exists because of its richness and diversity. And it certainly adds to Anaheim's heritage of having a lot of different cultures. But this one in particular has mostly a Middle Eastern flair to it, and it is certainly worth talking about today.
At the beginning, I said that food was the attraction. Actually, it was people being driven out, refugees arriving, immigrants arriving from the Middle East, people coming to Anaheim for a lot of different reasons. But the whole genesis, the thing that brings people together, that possibly begins a community, is the welcoming nature of food, and restaurants and other businesses have become the center in the city of Anaheim's Little Arabia.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that has been very interesting to watch is that this community has developed not only with its certain businesses, but they've created a chamber of commerce and been involved in the broader needs of the community, because we are a city, a welcoming city, a city of kindness, a city that, again, has a really rich, diverse background. And I think purely on an economic level, this is also important to point out, because West Anaheim has been noted for having had some lulls economically, and revitalization is very important. The fact that this community has done so much work without a lot of help from the government to create this community. We've seen crime levels reduce, we've seen property values increase in the area, and so there's a lot of virtues that are certainly exciting and worth mentioning today.
A lot of cities, a lot of communities fearful of immigrant communities because they're afraid that they're going to become dependent, that the cities, the communities are going to have to supply a lot of support in order to keep these communities going, but you're saying it's happening on its own.
True, and this is, again, this self-sufficiency as well as this ability to sort of rise without government help is a real testament to the people who have been working very hard in this area. And so they've done a number of things to try to bring attention. They're talking about city designation as a possible goal in the future, and they have cultural events that take place in the city, one of which will be coming up in the month of July.
We'll talk about that in a minute, but what is it that brings people to Anaheim? What is it that has brought this immigrant community to the city of Anaheim, aside from the fact that it's grown just, like attracts like?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think, California in general, again, because of many diverse cultures that are here, have shown that cities appreciate this collection of people who have a cultural heritage that is alike. I mean, I know that we're talking about the Middle East as sort of being one type of community, but it is very diverse in and of itself. I mean, many of the different countries that are represented, particularly Egypt, Syria, and Lebanon, are countries that we've seen a lot of people come into the area. But they themselves, along Brookhurst, also have other businesses that are Laotian, Vietnamese, Chinese, for example, Spanish certainly. So it isn't a specific Middle Eastern community, but it is more of an international community with a very strong Middle Eastern flair.
The event that you brought up, the Arab American Council is promoting an event that is welcoming everyone, saying, come see who we are and celebrate our culture. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this started about 5 years ago, and this very group was the one that came about as a result of the businesses that align themselves along Brookhurst, and they formed somewhat of a chamber of commerce, but they have broader goals than just business, and one of which is this cultural event, the Eid Festival, which celebrates the end of Ramadan, and this year will be in the beginning of July. On that weekend before the 4th of July in downtown, there will be entertainment. Again, many of these businesses will have booths, and there'll also be opportunity for everybody in the city to come down. It's certainly the invitation is extended to people outside of Anaheim, but we hope people in Anaheim take advantage of it, because it is one of those things that is so close and they can take advantage of it year-round. But this is a particular highlight given the time of year and the celebration that the city's having. It's
a very American thing to, ironically, to celebrate diverse cultures for this kind of celebration, you know, to get out onto the streets and express through art and food and all of those different activities that become, you know, who we are as a community.
Yeah, absolutely. Anaheim has a number of other events. We have the Black History Month Parade. We have the Cinco de Mayo, Halloween, a festival around Christmas time. There's the Nutcracker tree lighting celebration. So, you know, this just adds to a palette of different things that our city offers. And I think it makes us, you know, very rich. And I think it speaks to, again, why Anaheim is so prominent in not only the county, but the world for its interest of people to visit, and this is one thing that we are certainly happy to have.
How can people get involved in this? I know that they're inviting the community to, you know, the community who is Arab American, but also, you know, everyone to participate. How can people get involved or find more information about this?
Well, the Arab American Chamber of California has a website, and that's certainly one, and then the Eid Festival itself, both of which you can certainly use any search engine. They'll look those up, and they'll give you more information about the events that are both coming up in July as well as year-round.
Yeah, July 1st and 2nd for that. You know, I think a lot of people identify perhaps the city of Westminster with a great Vietnamese food. And you were talking about the different cultures and different food available in the city of Anaheim. Are there some pockets where you would suggest for a great date night to go do something a little different and check out different areas of the town for the food? Yeah,
I mentioned Brookhurst, and it's not, the businesses aren't exclusive to that area, but if you were to travel into town off the 5 freeway, you could get off at Brookhurst and travel south past La Palma, and once you get into the section primarily between Orange Avenue and Ball Avenue, you'll find the strongest concentration right there. But you can continue going south towards the 22 into Garden Grove and see other businesses. There's a great supermarket right on the edge of Garden Grove in Anaheim that has a very big reputation in terms of offering very diverse Middle Eastern foods, and I understand people from San Diego and even far into Riverside County come just because of this particular supermarket.
You know, something to consider to broaden that scope of things that we have to do in this great county of Orange, you know, to go dine in Anaheim and see that, and a reminder about the Eid celebration coming up July 1st and 2nd in Anaheim. Thanks so much, James Vanderbilt, for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, glad you could join us too. I'm Leslie Leyton.